there. It is day 38 of 66 days in a row. Today we are going to be doing the heroes range, and it's not actually going to be the hero, not me. It's going to be one of my winning opponents ranges, or winning opponents. We're going to look at a hand that they played, then went to showdown, and then we will hand read the winning player. We'll consider them the hero. We've done some on Big the Big, 1000 NA, New Wave. I think we did HapKoTuk. So let's do some Sonic 3D Blast right here. We can see I have 3,500 hands. He's a 2016, so, you know, tight aggressive player, getting to be on the loose aggressive side. Total AF is 2, fold to steal 75%, attempt to steal 32%. So let's take a look at some of this player's hands. Sonic 3D Blast right here. So if we go to stats, I think what we want to do is just see just straight up showdown hands. All right, so let's see here. Let's sort it by turn actions. We have 65 hands. Check, call, bet, check in on the river right there. That's in the small blind. Let's take a look at some other positions. Lots of checks. Oh, so some calling stuff right here. Raise, bet, check, call, bet, check, a check, call on the river, raise, bet. Well, you know, I like this one right here. Call, check, bet. So some passivity early on, and then some aggression later on. So let's see what this hand ends up being. As always, of course, we have our split suit template. splitsuit.com/templates. Let's see here. 932157494. Yep, that's it here. So it is a, what's his name again? Sonic 3D Blast. Gravy. So let's see what happens. What did I fold first off? I mean, it won't really affect the hand reading that I do on Sonic and his opponent. 9-5 offsuit, of course, folding it under the gun. We got a min raise from Persona Grata. And just a call. Okay, cool. So first off, Persona Grata, very loose aggressive player, raising first in on the button at 57%. So, oh, of course, we're going to need Flopzilla out here. So let's give Persona Grata, it's a very wide range. Let's just give it a random ace, a stealing ace here. Ace 7 offsuit. Who knows what it ends up being, but that's that. Now, our hero in the hand, Sonic, decides to just call right here. Let's take a look at Sonic's 2-bet calling out of the big blind. 21% of the time. So we can look at a 21%, 37 out of 176 instances, which is pretty indicative that he calls 21% of the time. But we also know that that Sonic 3-bets 11%. So let's definitely, we'll just take, well, let me just look at some call 2-bet ranges here, actually. We'll start at 22%. So Sonic 3-bets 11% of the time, right? Well, this is a very loose, aggressive, stealing type player. I think Sonic would often re-steal or 3-bet re-steal versus this player. So let's take out the 10s. Let's take out the ace-jack suited. I throw in a lot of suited aces right here and suited connectors as 3-bet semi-bluffs. I'm not sure what Sonic does. And Sonic could be just calling or 3-bet re-stealing with some of this stuff. But I'm going to put these in their 3-betting range. And since they just called, we got to keep them pretty wide. Oh, let's remove this ace 7 offsuit so we get a true count on their pre-flop combos here. I'm good with those calling. I'm actually good with these calling as well from Sonic's. These offsuit 9s, offsuit aces, no, maybe not even ace 9. Let's give it ace 10 offsuit. Ace 10 here, ace jack suited. Those are the 3-bet hands. I'm down with everything else calling. It's possible he'll call down to 5-4 suited, and even 6-4, especially seeing as how it's just a min bet. And then what kind of equity does he need here? Before the call, only 23% equity, so he just has to win 1 out of every 4 times to make this a profitable pre-flop call. So I'm going to give him a decently wide range of 22%. Come on. 22% and 296 combos. And then Sonic calls the min steal from a lag button player. All right, let's see what our... Oh, well, first off, if this is the range, such a wide 22% range versus A7 offsuit, the A7, because it is ace high, currently beats all these other, kings, queens, jacks, suited connectors, gappers, all of these, other than these two, all these other broadways, and has decent equity versus all these pairs with the 1-over card here. So 52% this hand versus the range. Well, let's see what happens on the flop. 4-7-6, heart, spade, heart. 4-7-6, heart, spade, heart. Gravy. So on this board right here, the hero's range actually hits I shouldn't say. It hits 33% of the time. Top pair or better, open in a straight draw, and these combo draws. And currently it has 32% equity. That ace high, or actually, it's not ace high anymore. Ace 7 has a top pair, top kicker on this board. But let's see what the action is here. Sonic just checks, and the Persona checks behind. Well, I can possibly see an ace 7 checking, but more likely than not, it's, I don't know. I mean, who knows what it could be? Like a 9-8 kind of a hand or something. But we started with a7. We just got to keep it that for now. But what hands right here are just checking? Well, I think literally 100% of the range could be checking right here. Sure, Sonic could be donk leading at this pot, but there's nothing here, sets, two pair, that are forced, like that have to be donk raising. Everything, whether it's the top of the range or the bottom of the range, could be just checking here, maybe planning to check raise, check call, or check fold. We don't know such a small pot what that initial check means, so we've got to keep 100% of the pre-flop range in. So 251 combos now. And you can see the reason why it drops down 100% of the range, but it's 251, because we're accounting for the ace and the 7 not being here, and then the 7, 6, 4 not being in the range as well. So naturally, as cards come out, that kind of starts to constrict our hero's range. Queen of Hearts hits. Now, we don't know exactly how that helped our hero, but maybe by seeing some turn action, we'll be able to get a sense of if our hero liked it or not. 62 cents into $1.10. 56% pot-sized bet here. And we do just get a call. Okay, so 3 to the flush doesn't complete a straight draw at all. Straight was already possible, but he doesn't have the 3-5 or the 5-8 in the range. So that could have given him a top pair kind of a hand, possibly even a flush. Could even give him an ace-high flush draw, ace or the king. Even the jack of hearts might bet out here, just as a straight bluff, hoping to take it down with some kind of backup equity. So straight flushes, yes. Flushes are betting here to start building the pot, to start getting some value. Straight sets, totally betting in this instance, though all of those sets could have definitely checked on the flop, hoping for a check raise. 2 pairs, 76, 64, yeah, totally, right there. Great, 2 pair on the flop, but still 2 pair on the turn. Could be betting here on that scary queen card. Over pairs, none in the range. Top pairs now, all those random queens, totally betting right here. That's fine. Hit some showdown value. Plus, could get calls out of random broadways, ace, jack, jack 10, king 10, king jack, things that don't believe the opponent hit a queen. He could be calling with a very wide range. So top pairs could be betting. Pocket pairs below? Sure, yeah, why not? Planning on check calling the flop. He didn't bet, so now it's time to make a bet on the turn. And probably folding out all the non-queens or non-hearts in the range. Middle pairs, could those be betting right here after it being checked around on the flop? A7, king 7, knight 7, a7. Those have showdown value, and they're pretty weak. The queen's not going to make them happy in any way. I think those could just be checking and planning on check calling in this instance. So I'm not going to put the middle pair in the bluffing range. Weak pairs, not going to do that either. Ace highs, well, we'll put some flush draws in the range down here, but we're not going to put it as a straight ace high in the turn betting range. Nut flush draws are betting, which, he has the ace of hearts already, so he can't have the nut flush draw because we assigned it here. We don't know that that's accurate, of course, but since we kept it, since we added it, or since we entered it pre-flop, we've got to keep it now just to keep the numbers accurate and flowing. But the second nut flush, totally King of Hearts are betting here. Jack of Hearts are betting here as well. Picked up that third nut flush draw. Weak flush draws, I don't think those are necessarily betting. They don't have to be. They could be betting, so I will keep them in the range, but not all of them are. Well, yeah, so why not take some of out? Not betting, not betting, not betting. Now these, well, that's already included in the sets. We don't need to worry about that. But the 8s and 9s could be betting now, planning on check calling on the flop, and then now betting. I think those are okay. And then all of these 10 high, they're the fourth nut flush. Those could be betting now. All right, so if this is the range that we assign our opponent on the turn, I don't think these gut shots are going to be betting Queen 8 and Pocket 8s. No need to bet those. I think you're just checking, hoping to see a free river to catch your gut shot, or hoping to get to showdown with those Pocket 8s right there. They could be betting, but not always. So we've got 54% range, which is actually 54% and 127 combos. Now, it's 54% of the prior street's range. That's how you want to look at this right here. 54%. And let's see, currently, if this is the range, our range is now finally ahead, 53% versus that weak second pair hand of our opponent. They do just call. Now the 8 of clubs comes. And another bet, 135 divided by 234. 58%. Yeah, so roughly first time was 56%, now 58%. Betting slightly over half pot. This feels like a bluff to me for a second street right now. I really doubt he's betting so small on an inconsequential river when he called the 3 flush already. If he had a flush, he's probably upping it to 65, 75% value on the river, is my guess. So let's see here. Maybe some of those weak flushes can be in the range, but I doubt it. I'm going to take out all flushes from the range. Straights are not in. Sets here. I guess the 8 completes a straight, but the sets, if they were betting for value on the turn, they're probably going to bet for value again on the river. But I think maybe keeping it that 55%, going for some thin value, could be betting right there. But yeah, those flushes. Oh, I never entered it in. Whoops, 8 of clubs. All right, so wait a second. There we go. Now enter the 8 of clubs. Now I can start removing hands. Okay. Are all these flushes betting just a small 75? No, I'm going to take them out. The reason why I think that river shouldn't scare him in any way with the flush, he's going to be betting bigger for value because he got called on the turn. No. Straights now. Yeah, those could be making the smaller bet, just being kind of slightly timid on the 3 flush board. The sets, totally making the smallish bet again because they didn't complete to a full house. Just making the small bet again, trying to get value out of maybe a queen, maybe a 7 that decided to call on the turn. 2 pair, are they betting a little over half pot again? Queen 8, 7, 6, 6, 4. Out of position. I think 2 pairs are check calling here. Queen 8 is top 2. That could be making the bet, actually. But is the 6-4, is the bottom 2 pair betting? I think they're check calling. 7-6, mid 2 pair. I'm going to take that out. I think Queen 8 is the only 2 pair that's going to be betting for value here. The other ones will be check calling, not betting. Over pairs, none. Top pair, I can see them betting again. Your opponent could have come in with a random 7 calling on the turn with a random heart, and maybe he's hoping to get value out of an ace high or king high hand that just doesn't believe. So the top pairs, are all the top pairs betting? I don't think so. It feels like a scared bet to me. I'm sorry, I'm just really thinking about this. Are these... You know, they could be betting as blocking, actually, come to think of it. So they are the weaker 2 pair, but still betting, doing the double barrel, kind of going for value, but at the same time blocking their opponent from making a larger size bet. Because if he shows weakness right here, he can come in with a 3/4 or even pot size bet. But betting, double barreling on the river right here could make him think, wow, maybe he has the nut flush and I've just got to call with my 2 pair, with my top pair kind of a hand. So it could be a blocking / value bet. Sometimes opponents do make those. So I think top pairs can be making the same play as well, to try to get to showdown at the price that they set. Pocket pair below top. On that 9, I think those are check folding or possibly check calling a small bet instead of betting themselves. Mid pairs, nah, just check calling here. Ace high hands. Double barrel is bluffs. Well, no. Those were all the jack of heart hands and the 10 of hearts. No. Well, they could. Could be betting as a bluff. And if they're betting these, actually, I've got to say that they can be betting these ones as well. Just as straight bluffs, even though they have showdown value. Nah, that wants to see showdown cheap. See showdown cheap. Ace high, maybe the only way they think they can win is by bluffing, so they'll bet. No made hands, probably just fully giving up right there. Actually, let's give them some more bluffs. Yeah, let's try it out. Let's give them some bluffs, see what happens here. 78%. I didn't look at the combos. 94 combos. All right, let's see what happens. Opponent calls. Pocket 5s. We don't get to see Persona. So he actually won with the pocket 5s. So Persona might have had the ace of hearts and just called on the river because of the size of the bet, hoping that his ace high hand was good. How interesting. No, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Pocket 5s hit a straight. My bad. And, oh, 5s are in the range. Yep, that's right. We kept straights in. And then the open-ender on the flop. Yep. Or open-ender on the turn. Yeah, we kept it. Wait a second. 4-5. Open-ender on the flop. Hit it on the turn. We kept that in the range. His double barrel betting range for value here. So good. It ended up working out just fine. He actually had a backdoor, kind of a weak flush draw when he hit that. When he hit his actual... on the turn right there, and then river the straight. Good for him. I can't see. I wish I could have seen what he had. He probably just has a 7 right here, or maybe it is. Maybe I'm right with an ace high hand. It's not showing. As you know, on America's Card Room, losers do not have to show their hands at showdown unless they choose to. So it's a good thing that Sonic won this hand because we were able to see what he ended up having. Alrighty, y'all. Thank you very much for joining me today, day 38. I will catch you later, day 39.